you have 15 seconds to give your reader the info he's looking for. And that's 30 words. After that, he's off, he's gone. And that little tidbit up there is 30 words. It's 156 characters, including spaces. It doesn't look like much, but the fact is that it wouldn't fit into a Twitter message. So we're just giving you a sense of how little space you actually have to say what you have to say. What you guys need to keep in mind is that to write for engagement, to write for social media, and to engage with those online audiences, you need to wear two completely different hats. There's one hat for print, and there's one completely different hat for engagement. Okay, it's almost two different languages, it's two different genres altogether. What this means is that you can't take the stuff you wrote for print, the stuff your clients are writing for print, and shovel them wholesale onto the web. It backfires completely because instead of engaging with them, they stop trusting you because they think that you waffle. And what that basically means is that to engage, you need to ensure that your reader spends less time reading, which translates into your having to spend more time writing. So, there are 4 things to think about. The first is the miniskirt. A miniskirt is only really great when it's short and tight, yes? So by the same token, a social media engagement or conversation is only really working, is only really engaging when it's short and tight, when it's conversational. When you get to the point when you say what you need to say and then you move on so that your reader can get on with their lives. Another thing to keep in mind is that if you're dealing with a print document that is X long, and you convert that into a web piece, your web piece should be half of X, but your social media piece should be a quarter of X. What is redundancy? It's the needless repetition of words. 3 a.m. in the morning. Regular monthly meetings. During the course of, in light of the fact that. These are the redundancies that creep into your writing because you think that they emphasize your point. They really don't. They just waste precious words. Every word counts. Pretend you have to pay. Please stay away from empty adjectives. Let me give you an example of why this doesn't work. If I say to you, I had a wonderful holiday, what do you know about my holiday? Nothing. Was it hot or cold? I don't know. Did I go alone or in a group? Did I do extreme sport? Did I lie on a beach? Did I read my book? Was it overseas? Was it local? You guys don't know anything, except maybe that I liked it. Okay, so wonderful is one of those empty adjectives like remarkable, amazing, fantastic, spectacular, good, nice, awesome. They don't actually tell us anything. Please don't use them. Number 2, the value add. So how do we tweet or blog or communicate with our social media audiences so that we add value and are eagerly anticipated and not dismissed? There are 2 considerations and only 2. Will this information make people's lives better? And what exactly does this audience need to know? A lot of the stuff we think the audience cares about, they don't care about. So we need to be giving people stuff that really interests them and that really does add value. The one thing I don't use social media for is self-promotion because it irritates me. What this means actually is taking information and going for function, becoming more hard-edged, avoiding big fancy notions, and staying away from lofty sounding words. So what your audience is wanting to know is, what have you done for me? What's in it for me? What benefit is there? What value is there? What have you done for me? And they are asking this all the time, which means that you need to remain relevant in the moment to justify your existence in their lives, because you are quite directly in their space. The tone. Number 3, mastering the appropriate social media style and tone. And it's exactly like body language. So as I'm standing up here in front of you, you can see that you're not just taking meaning from what I'm saying, but you watching my hand gestures, which are exhaustive, listening to my volume, inflection, eye contact, speed. So there are a whole lot of things playing a role in what I'm saying other than the actual words. And that's exactly what tone is in your writing. It's all the things other than the actual words that you are using. So it's all the stuff behind what you are saying. And this is what I call the spectrum of registers. Because what this does is it shows you that if the informal kind of register is on the left, that's your very, very casual, Kalula kind of a vibe, and your very, very formal is on the right, that would be formal, longer sentences, no contractions, no use of second person, very, very straightforward formal. And the midline is in the middle, then what we want is slightly left of middle. Okay, and how much left of middle you go depends ultimately on your audience, but what we want is left of middle. So that's where your tone should be going. In terms of register, in terms of level of language being used and formality, you should be trying to hit that left of middle point there. So there are some keywords for tone when it comes to social media engagement. Casual, friendly, engaging, non-threatening, simple, plain. That's it. I'm going to give you very quick rules for writing for social media engagement. Rule 1, write as you speak. Rule 2, use you and your more than we. And what this does is it forces you to focus on user benefit. Rule 3, use contractions. Don't, can't, won't, mustn't, etc. Rule 4. Short words instead of long words. Again, say medication if you can say medicine. We want to write to express, not to impress. Rule 5. Sound like a real live human being. A lot of these Twitter feeds sound very auto. They sound like they're not being written by real people. Rule 6. Guys, please don't use an exclamation mark after every sentence. Rule 7. Desperate for space and you cannot possibly squeeze your message into 140 characters. Use an abbreviation if you have to, but please stay away from the bloody winks and tongues and all the other shit that you can squeeze into messaging. It's horrible and it makes you look cheap. Okay? Rule 8. Read your copy aloud afterwards. And this brings us to item number 4, the final analysis, which is checking and proofing your output. Confirm that your facts, figures, spelling, and punctuation are correct. Ah man, no one notices if there's a mistake in my tweet. I'm sorry to tell you that the people who do notice are usually the decision makers, the influencers, the important people. Those are the people anal enough to notice that you can't spell. So please use spell check and then use your brain. What I want you guys to keep in mind is that your brain neuro-autocorrects. Your brain autocorrects mistakes and shows you what you want to see, not what's actually there, which means you will see public holiday instead of pubic holiday, which is what you actually read. How do you prevent neuro-autocorrect? You read backwards. Let's have a quick look at who's doing it right. Exclusive Books is. What else can you buy for 20 rand except a pie in the garage and perhaps a Coke? Stay tuned and we'll tell you soon enough. Why is this good? Because it sticks to a lot of the things I've already said. Short and tight, there's value there. They're not madly punting the flash mob fire sale, okay? They're just whetting your appetite for later, and they're speaking to you as if you're a person and they're a person. So we're winning on a whole lot of fronts there. The tone is spot on and the proofing was pretty good. Come meet Azad Essa, also Zoomer's Bastard and EB Westwood on Saturday. Okay, also just a little bit more hard sell than the previous one, but short, tight, tone is fine, proofing is good, gives value if you are interested, and they're not being overt about the fact that they are trying to sell you a book. And then the last one, they're retweeting a tweet by somebody else. Okay? That's cool. Your Twitter feed doesn't only have to be about you, or your client, or your brand, or the organization. So what's really, really important is also not just retweeting stuff that speaks about your brand or organization, it's adding any kind of value that you think will interest your audience. And what's very interesting about Exclusive Books is that their Facebook sites and their websites follow along exactly the same lines. Short, tight, value, it's being proofed, tone is on track in terms of audience. Okay, and that's really important as well. It's all very well to have a kick-ass, amazing Twitter feed and a horrible Facebook page with horrible words on it. Yeah.